based on that, we were able to, with our limitation, we were able to bring out the best what we could. I think we've grown tremendously. Yeah.
And Dinesh, you have played a huge role in the Fisherman Trust, knowing you, who have taken a sense of ownership. But one of the things, what I'm so appreciative of you is your ability to build others, to develop other leaders. And that has been so evident. Would you like to talk a little bit more about that in terms of the opportunity we have to develop other leaders through camps?
I don't know how much I involved, Shubhay, but then I've been inspired by a lot of our leaders who have been doing camps. You are definitely up there, and you are the main reason why even I joined Fisherman Trust, right? So I've also seen some of our own people who are not been a camper. Now they're able to work with us as a staff, which is itself a big achievement. They've been inspired with the camp. What has happened? They want to contribute. That itself, like for me, is a big achievement. I don't know personally whether I have impacted or not, but as a group, as a team, what we do with or without our knowledge, we are making impact in people's life. It may not be evident then and there. I've heard from people what camp has done in their life is something which is not we have planned or not thought of.
That is interesting when you are so self-giving, and I can watch so many times because of you. There are so many guys who have come into camp ministry and who are working. You know that very well. And even in our organization, we have people like Ebi and Pratap and so many others who have been influenced by you. What would you say camp as a career in India? It is. Can you say a few positive things and a few drawbacks, if there were some?
As I mentioned earlier, Shway, so it is an emerging field, right? I would say yes, there's a career because you see there are schools are adopting schools are outdoor education, right? And corporates are looking for outdoor activities, team building, leadership programs, and you can work as a facilitator or outdoor instructors or trekking or climbing instructors, right? There is an opportunity. It's definitely a low income initially to start with. It's still growing, I would say, but this is definitely a chance. Because I was reading an article somewhere, it says like 10, 20 years ago, IT field were like this. It was emerging, it was not established as it's now. Like it is growing field. It's definitely where you could make a career out of camping.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's true. I think camping is here to stay. What's been your journey in terms of training, Dinesh? I mean, you know, health and safety aspect, and you have gone through so much of training, and now you are a facilitator, an instructor, and I get a lot of thrills and blessing when you stand and when you instruct people. It is a great joy. So, how have you come through this journey?
I think training is a very important part of our camp. Reason being, one, you know what you're going to do, what is expected of you. It's just not about the operational part of how to run a camp. It's also in terms of safety, and I said safety about child protection policy. When I say safety, and part of training is like first aid. I feel that's very important. See, initial stage when I was part of Fisherman Trust, that was the initial stage, right? You brought in people. That's how people came and trained us, and then I've learned through. I'm a guy, hands-on guy. I have to really experience, and I may not sit and listen. I'm not a person who sits in a classroom and learn. But then, whether I like it or not, training is very important in order to do a good job. All right, that helps you to prepare well. Training is very important, I would say. Initial stage, we didn't have that opportunity to do a lot more training. I think as we evolved and time passed, and I know you brought in people, we went and attended different programs and trained. For me, example, I work in abroad in seasonal camp, right? So they take us through training of month of training. just for 2 months of camp,
Yes.
right? So they know importance of training because they don't want us to struggle one, and also campers are coming with expectations, right? We want to give them the best what we can. That's why we need training is so important. Yeah, training is must, I would say.
That's incredible. Without training, I think it's very hard, Dinesh. As you were saying that you're also very hands-on, I've also seen you as a fixer. Anything's a fixer, but also a creator. How important is maintenance in terms of equipments, in terms of fixing things? You also have a wide experience. You want to talk a little bit about that?
I think that is my a favorite part of work, Kashimesh, because I still, even though I do facilitate activities and organize other things, for me, maintenance is a key. I like maintenance because when you do a program, if you don't have things to deliver, that makes more challenging. And even if you buy, like, if you invest like lakhs of rupees
Yeah.
on equipment, if you don't maintain, because it's a health and safety. If you're putting a person at risk, you're putting a person in a 50 feet height on a rope. If you don't see the rope is not maintained well, you'll be in trouble. You're putting person in trouble. So maintenance is a very key. It also just not about safety. It also gives a life, right? I've seen, because we maintain these ropes. Some of the ropes have been used for 10 years, right? We keep a log. That's why it is very important keeping a log. Checking every day when you before you do the activity, or even after the activity, just bring it, log it. That's very important part of our maintenance, right? So maintenance is a very important part of a camp.
And you also are quite creative in creating activities. Can you want to talk a little bit more about that? You bring out always some new activities, whether it's Zoom in or things like that.
I do know I'm not really creative as the others, but when I see, at least when I see outsiders do some of the activities, when I see something which we can use with our context, we may not necessarily have to do exactly what the others do. Tailor make a program or activity what will work for us is what would impact. And we don't want to do things just sake of doing, isn't it? So that's when we need to know what is a client or a campus need, and based on that, what we create an activity. So I think we have a good team. There are a lot of people are better creative in our team than me, I guess. Yeah.
No, that's you're underestimating yourself. But again, going back to your growth, Dinesh, how do you see God playing a role in your journey, especially through camps?
I don't know. We when we sat some time back, we wrote this on a drawing board. This word, ordinary people doing extraordinary things.